everybody. This is your host for the All Sports Matters podcast. I'm Big Robbery Desmond Robinson, and I'd like to welcome everybody into our podcast this Friday. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to introduce each of the other hosts that are coming on. And we're going to start with my man, Flectron, Two Belts, More. Jump on in and give everybody a shout out.
What it do, good people? What it do, good people? Happy Friday. Thank God we made it. We in here. Let's get some sports in us, man. Let's talk some sports.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Next, we're going to go ahead and introduce Amir, Baseball, Fasario, Big Poppy, Ortiz. Go ahead and give the shout out to the people there, Amir.
What's going on to my people out there in the Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter world, social media or not, just continue to share what we do. Thank you for watching. Please share. It's always a good day when we talk sports, my brothers.
That's right, Bets. Two belts in a ring.
Why do we have to bring up the ring? No need to bring up the ring. We already know you got the two belts in the ring. Good God. Well, moving on. Last but certainly not least, let's go ahead and introduce our third brother, Mr. Jimmy Bilbo, Mr. 49ers Extreme Extraordinaire. Go ahead and give everybody a shout out, Jim.
Let me tell you how childish he is. Why you got to bring up the ring? Ain't nobody got time for all that. Ain't nobody asked you about none of that there. But what's good people? Let's get to this show. How about that?
Hey, tell him, Fleck. If you ain't got that ring, then it
If
don't
you
mean
ain't got that
a thing.
ring, you can't do a thing.
We got a good show planned out for you guys tonight. And first, we're going to dive in. Our first topic is going to be the NBA playoffs and how fast they're moving along. So we'll start off with the Golden State Warriors and the Dallas Mavericks. Last night, Dallas and the Golden State Warriors played in a hell of a game. But Jim, give me your take on the game last night.
Well, let me tell you, the game went exactly how I thought it was going to go. I honestly thought it was going to be a sweep. But when Dallas forced it to go back to Golden State, I kind of knew and I figured that, you know, they was going to end it in Golden State in front of their fans out there in San Francisco. Luka, he have some help, but I feel like he just needed a little bit more. And they played a good game. They did, but they came up just a little short. They had Klay Thompson out there losing his mind, and Steph Curry being the cheat code that he is. They just had too much for him. So they tried. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do next season.
Hey, appreciate that, Jim. Hey, and you hit the nail on the head. Luka played an amazing series, and next season it should be pretty unstoppable. But Amir, what do you? I was just about to ask Amir, what do you think would help get them over the hump next year?
The 96 Bulls? I don't know what you want me to say here. He's been doing it alone. You know, like I said when the playoffs started, we're looking at another Iverson. You know, Iverson was left alone for so many years. And I don't know if it was a down year, but obviously it was his MVP year where it was just nothing but Iverson. Iverson is doing it by himself, you know. And that's all. Look, you know, the moment they traded Porzingis, and granted, Porzingis wasn't the same from his rookie contract with the Knicks. I don't think it was a good trade. You know, Hardaway has a spurt of showing up here and there, but there were two bad contracts. They were both bad contracts, so the money wasn't an issue. I believe Porzingis should have stayed because his size spread out the floor. His height brings out the center of the power forward out from the middle. That way, between Luka and KP, that spreads the floor. And that allows Jalen Brunson to go ahead and penetrate the middle and dish it out to one of the two big men for not necessarily easy three, but they both got three. They both got shots. Porzingis can make a three. Luka can make a three. So that opens up the offense. Now, to me, that's what it was. Luka is doing it by himself. Now, Jalen obviously is helping him out, but I think it's more of Jalen is playing for his next contract, and that might be it. We don't know if he's going to return. We don't know. We had Jason Kidd trying to get back in there for a little bit, trying to help him out. Luka just didn't have any help. That's all.
I mean, Dinwiddie helped him out. Dinwiddie he played a good series too. I think that was more of the Golden State effect. You know what I mean? It's like they shoot lights out. So, I mean, you had Dinwiddie dropped 26 last night off the bench. Bronson, he didn't show up last night. I mean, plain and simple, he didn't show up last night. Dinwiddie, like I said, dropped 26 off the bench. It's just Golden State 1 through 5. Everybody was scoring. I mean, you there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. When you got 1 through 5 and they're all clicking at the same time, I mean, you're up against the wall automatically. Like, you can't miss anything. Like I said, Bronson, he didn't show up last night. Between Luka and Dinwiddie, they scored 54 points between the two of them. So, I mean, if Bronson would have gave them his normal 20, they would have still only won by 5, 10?
5.
You know what I mean? I mean, that was more good Golden State than bad Dallas.
The game shouldn't even been that close, honestly.
It really
and you're right about that. You're right about that. But I'm saying, had Bronson dropped his normal 20, it would have been closer. But the thing is, even if Brunson would have dropped those 20, they still would have lost, is what I'm getting at. Like, it's just that good Golden State. You know what I mean? I mean, that they're gonna have to get some defensive players in there. I think with another year of Bronson and Luka together, Jalen Bronson and Luka together, and then Dinwiddie, they got to figure out a way to have those three in there at the same time. But I mean, when like Bess just said, man, when Golden State's hitting their shots, they're just too much.
They're too much.
There's nothing you can do about
it. Brunson is a free agent, no?
Yeah, he's a free agent right now. Mark Cuban has already said he dropping the bag on him. Nobody's gonna outbid him. He already said that.
Mark Cuban says that
last night and said that.
Once Cuban says that, the bag is going to be out there.
Yeah. Mark Cuban is one of them owners that, hey, if I wanna drop that bag on you, I'm gonna drop that bag on you, and I believe him.
Yeah, he real crazy with that. He need to drop the bag to make sure he get that leak fixed inside that stadium. Because let me tell you something, Jerry Jones would never. He would never. Exactly.
You didn't say Jerry Jones.
What name did you say?
Have his stadium inside of Dallas leaking like that.
Oh Lord!
I'm gonna let Amir have you.
That's what I was just about to say. I'm gonna move out the way and let Amir have that.
I'm just saying. I don't like neither Dallas team. As a matter of fact, I saw something last night that said San Francisco has been putting Dallas out of the playoffs all year. All year. San Francisco been putting Dallas out of the playoffs. So that's the way it happens. Sorry.
All right, gentlemen, look, appreciate your feedback on that one. Let's move on to our next topic, which is staying with the NBA playoffs. Tonight's game, Celtics versus Heat. Flat, we got to come to you first. You're a Boston diehard fan. What do you got for us? Talk to us.
Hold on. Before you come to me, Big Rob, I want to hear what Mr. 5 8/4 got to say.
First of all,
hey, look, last week y'all gave me hell. Y'all gave me hell when I said the Celtics. I said Celtics in 7. They might do it in 6.
Who gave you hell?
Oh, all three of y'all.
And guess
we
what?
We can rewind the tape. See, you forgot. We can rewind the tape on this one.
Oh no, but guess what? I ain't stopping. Heat.
Nah,
let me lift this up so y'all know it's a microphone.
We're up 3-2. The Celtics are up 3-2 tonight.
Celtics up 3-2.
Close it out. I think the biggest difference, of course, you know what I'm saying, Miami's not 100% healthy, but I mean, how many teams are 100% healthy at this point in the season? But I think the biggest difference since game 3 is when okay, Betts. I think the biggest difference has been the play of Derek White, man. Like, I gave that dude hell. Like, I was trying to get Rob to send him back to San Antonio. No, man, we keeping him now. We keeping him.
What just happened?
He has stepped up in place of Marcus Smart.
Send him back.
What? Wait a minute. What just happened? Wait, did you just say I was correct about my guy?
I did. He has been the biggest difference maker for us, man, because with Marcus Smart, he's not 100% healthy. He's trying to play, but that's not defensive player of the year Marcus Smart that we've seen these last couple of games. Derek White, I mean, the points don't tell the job of what he did. I mean, dude he's getting in on defensively, getting steals. He's hitting timely shots. He's not hitting a lot of shots, but he's hitting timely shots. When we needed him to get going in that first quarter, 10 straight points, Derek White, game 4. Tonight, we need Jason Tatum. We need Jaylen Brown. We need them two to step up and be the superstars that they are in this league. Robert Williams, he's nursing, a couple of injuries. We need that defense. Tonight, we need to close the Heat out tonight because we don't want that thing to go back to South Beach. Not want it to go back to South Beach.
No, not at all. You don't. And I'm gonna jump right in here on you. So I say Heat in 5. Now it's
8 quarters.
I'm
5 and 8 quarters.
I'm still right there with Heat in 5. It's just 5 and 8 quarters. But if you remember when Marcus Smart got hurt, and they said he was playing the next game, what did I say? I said Marcus Smart is coming back way too soon. He don't need to come back, and he's not going to perform. He's still going to be hurt, and he's not going to perform. And that's exactly what's happening, exactly what you just said, Fleck. Derek White has stepped in, and he's taking that Marcus Smart spot. So why rush him back? I understand you want to have that name out there. You want to have them preparing for him instead of Derek White, but don't rush him back at this point. If you have somebody that's playing and can step in and you can have your guy resting, especially but if it's to the point to where the Celtics could possibly go to the championship, I'm resting Marcus Smart to let him get better if White can handle it.
And if you notice, he didn't play his normal load because Derek White has stepped up his play. Marcus Smart, basically Marcus Smart has been out there as a decoy basically these last couple of games.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm agreeing with you on that. He's been out there as a decoy, but he's not playing his normal.
Right, and I get that he's not playing his normal amount of minutes, and he's being a decoy. But if you're trying to be in the championship, if you're trying to be in the finals, playing against Golden State, do you not want him to be at his absolute healthiest?
Look, if we close out tonight, he's got a week to get healthy. The finals don't start until Thursday.
It's not happening. I'm telling you what's happening. I already told you. Heat in 5
you
and 8 quarters.
You can't ask me a question and then say something when I answer.
You're right. You know what? You're right. You're right. Go ahead. I'm gonna listen. Hold on.
No, go ahead.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
You got it.
No, I'm good. Amir, tell us where you at with it.
I'm sorry. I just woke up from a nap. Because when I watch the Celtics and the Heat, that's exactly what I'm doing. I ain't never fought sleep so hard in my life. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all talking about the two boringest teams right now. Now, I can resuscitate the Orlando Magic, the New York Knicks, all those bad teams, and they'll play a lot better. The Wizards, and they'll play a lot better than these two teams right now. I'm telling you right now, this is so boring. No, this is horrendous.
What do you want them to do?
It's so boring. Neither team can break 85 points, it seems like. Every team is missing 7 shots. No, Fleck, you had your chance. You sit there, sir, and look pretty. All right, let me tell you something. These two teams are playing Naismith basketball, okay? They're playing with some gloves and a hamper because I don't know what – it's not basketball. They sure as heck is not playing basketball. I don't know what's going on. Yes, now the Celtics will win tonight. Okay? And it pains me to say that. It's only because it's the better of two evils. Both of the teams are struggling. Both of these teams don't have nothing to offer. The Warriors is going to beat them 8 straight games if you allow them to. I'm sorry.
Hey, but you also have they're the top 2 defensive teams in the league too. So that plays into that too.
Well, yeah, when they're tripping over themselves. I can play defense against them right now.
Okay.
Look,
the Heat and the Celtics are one.
Obviously, I'm exaggerating. But let me tell you something.
Might die afterwards.
Jimmy Butler hit his knee getting out of the bed in the morning. Now he can't play basketball. Once he sat out that second half, the series was done. He went 2 for 14 the other day.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that.
This is the Heat goes to Jimmy Butler. Now we're talking about one-man teams. If Luka Doncic can't pass or do nothing with his right shoulder, the Mavericks can't score 50 points. It's the same thing with the Heat. Bam Adebayo pulled the game out of his butt, and they won a game. But it shouldn't have been that. They should have came back from 35 or whatever it was at halftime when Jimmy Butler sat out, and they should have won that game. The Heat is atrocious without Jimmy Butler. And this injured Jimmy Butler, and I don't mean to talk bad about their team, but they're just so beat up right now. And if I was you as a Celtics fan, you guys are beat up, but you're not beat up offensively because Marcus Smart is not an offensive threat. Yes, Robert Williams is not an offensive threat. They're defensive studs. They are defensive studs. Robert Williams is still blocking threes in the corner. I just saw the game the other day. Ain't nothing wrong with him. Marcus Smart is still flopping. Ain't nothing wrong with him. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing, injured or not.
He is in the flop button.
Of course they should sit out. I can stop Jimmy Butler right now. But what I'm saying is, going into this series, that Tatum that played this series, that Jaylen Brown that played this series, they're going to get drugged. And that's just me speaking facts.
They're going to get drugged tonight? You say they're going to get drugged tonight?
If they don't step it up.
They need to.
Either way it go, Golden State in 6. If they play the Celtics, it's going to be Golden State in 5.
How are we already in the finals? Can we get through this game?
I don't care who wins out the East.
I got Boston winning tonight.
So you got Boston winning tonight.
There we go.
Jim, what do you have?
Who you got winning tonight? Oh, never mind. We already know. You got the Heat.
Already know. It's going to be the Heat. Okay. And it's a little known fact out there that every time Kendrick Lamar drop an album, the Golden State Warriors win the championship. I'm just lay that on y'all mind right there.
I did post that earlier. Those are facts.
What?
Those are facts.
He jumped
every single time,
and he posted a fact.
Every single time.
I posted it. If I posted it, you know it's a fact.
I'm just telling you. I'm just here to report, Mr. Flectron. I'm just saying.
I can't win.
I'm just saying.
Well, Fleck, I'm gonna side with you tonight, Fleck. I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna say it. Hey, Boston wins tonight.
So I'm the only one saying the Heat. I'm the only one saying
the Heat.
I'm gonna take it.
I want to know what the people, the audience. I want to know who y'all got tonight.
Well, Siobhan Bush said the Celtics gonna win.
Yeah.
Shout out to Siobhan.
I'm just saying, Miami offense it's like watching paint dry.
It is.
Like Jimmy Butler was so scared to shoot the other day. It was ridiculous. Bam Adebayo don't know what to do once he does his first crossover. Like he shot himself that he crossed him over.
Right.
Like he doesn't know what to do after the ball. It's like I'm watching these perennial superstars or these millionaires. Obviously they're athletes, they're athletic, but it's like they're doubting themselves. This Heat offense is just missing. They're just missing. And that's and I think it started once Jimmy Butler got hurt.
We got John Carter saying
they were done.
John Carter saying the Celtics because Jimmy Bucket's hurt. Shout out to John Carter. What's happening? LSU in the house.
So now, will the Kyle Lowry play a factor in this tonight?
You know what Kyle Lowry has has disappointed me in this playoffs. I know he's been hurt, but since he came back, I mean, what has he done? He has disappointed.
I think he's still hurt.
He came back early. He's still hurt. He's
definitely still hurt
because Jimmy Butler needed help. And I mean,
he came back before then though, because they won the game one handily, right?
Yeah,
They won game one pretty good. He came back for game two while he's still hurt. That goes back to my Marcus Smart thing. If you're not ready to come back, don't do that, because the only thing you're doing is hurting the team. That's it.
But they don't have the talent to cover.
Exactly.
They don't have the talent to cover a Kyle Lowry or a Jimmy Butler.
Exactly.
Like I said, Bam Adebayo hasn't been Bam Adebayo.
Right.
Like I understood your argument for Marcus Smart not coming back. You know what I'm saying, Jim? I understood that. But Miami doesn't have the talent to replace Lowry. So 50% of Lowry is better than 100% of whoever's number 3, because your number 2 right. Tyler Hero's hurt too.
Tyler Hero, he's hurt, but even when he is in there, he's a defensive liability. You got what the other little boy name is? What the other boy name is? Duncan Robinson.
They need points. If Jimmy Butler's not dropping 35 to 45 points, they're not winning.
Exactly. And
because they have no solid second option. And that's why Lowry had to come back.
I'm going to tell you what's going to be the deciding factor in this game. How they come out shooting threes is going to decide this game, because they for whatever reason,
they went, I don't give a damn who winning or something like that, 34.
Yes. I don't care what's going on. They going to shoot a million threes.
But that Miami Heat was designed to shoot those threes. That's the issue. You got Tyler Hero, Mitchell Robinson, even Tucker, as many rebounds as he gets at 6'8", and he's playing center, whatever he is, he gets to the ball. I give him that. But when he's open, he hits threes as well. Jimmy Butler, when he's healthy, hits the threes.
Right.
But that's been Miami bread and butter. It's a three-point shot, like you said. Now, once Tyler Hero went out, that was a weapon gone. Jimmy Butler, pretty much gone. Right. Kyle Lowry, his design was to getting down low, pass it out, boom, 3. He can't do that. I believe Kyle Lowry should have retired when he won in Toronto. He should have just did a Michael Strahan and went on the sunset. Was like, I won, I'm good.
But I mean, it's kind of hard to turn down, $30 million,
right,
at this age. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to turn down that money.
My question though is,
$30 million I might try to play when I'm 52.
When do you stop shooting threes? Like, if you're not hitting, when do you stop and start driving to the bucket?
Boston got too much size. Boston got too much size.
Exactly. They're protecting the rim.
You got to do something. If you're not,
the biggest thing with Boston is that they can switch 1 through 5 and not miss a beat.
No, I get that, but if you're not hitting, you got to do something else.
But going to the paint ain't an option, though. That's what I'm saying.
Man, you better do something.
You
saw what Wiggins did.
That's Miami's identity. Like Amir said, that's their identity. They live and die by the 3.
But you got to remember now, we're talking about Wiggins, who is very athletic. We're talking about a very athletic guy on a team that can spread the floor like nobody's business. And that's the other part.
It's hard to pack the paint when you got snipers. You know what I mean? It's hard to pack the paint.
That's the thing. If your identity is shooting threes, you're supposed to be able to have
they're hurt
too, right?
They're hurt. That's
all right. We right.
They're hurt.
Come on, let's y'all right.
Do you think Miami?
What the people saying?
Do you think Miami right now are regretting the contract for Duncan Robinson? Because remember, he got paid last year.
He did get paid last year and ain't done nothing.
But isn't he hurt too?
No.
I don't think
so.
He's
been playing? Oh.
He's been playing.
He's been playing.
He's averaging. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up for you because I don't want to give you no false numbers. But he's been averaging trash.
I can't tell you exactly what he's averaging, but I can tell you right now, he's averaging church league stats. I can put that out there. I can say that right now. He has church league numbers out here.
I used to be good in the church league way back when.
I was too.
Nobody paid me.
I was decent.
I was a monster in church league, and I didn't get a dime. I'm just saying.
It was all over.
But he's literally averaging church league like I'm the deacon numbers, not like the star player in church league.
The one that's coming off the bench.
Right. So you think that Miami is rethinking that contract, especially right now? Because he would be.
I'm sure they're rethinking a lot of
things. It's a lot of things they wish they could bring back, huh? So in the end, who do we have going to the finals? We already know Golden State is already a part of it. Who do you think is going to make it to the finals?
Of course,
Most of the people have already
closing it out tonight.
Say it again.
Closing out tonight.
Celtics closing out tonight. Amir?
I said it close out. Boston needs this. Not the Celtics, just Boston, the city. We're talking about the average blue-collar worker in Boston. They need something to cheer because the Bruins ain't did it. The Red Sox, they showed a little bit of life. But the Celtics hasn't been here since, 2008? They ain't made it final, so.
2010.
10 or
2010.
Yeah, because they went and lost to the Lakers, I think it was.
Kobe.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Kobe Bryant. Yep. Mr. Bean.
Yep.
And Jim, who you going with?
City Boston needs it.
Tonight?
Finals. Who's going to make it to the finals? Is it Miami or is it going to be Boston?
I said Miami going into it. I'm gonna stick with what I said. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm gonna stick with what I said. Either way, Golden State is go maul. Whoever goes from the East is about to catch them paws.
We'll talk about that when we get there.
When we reach that crossroad.
Either way, is happening. But yes, let's go.
Appreciate it, gentlemen. All right, our next topic. And Fleck, you already. I want to make sure you know I'm coming to you first. We're going to talk about Wimbledon. All right, I know a lot of people are like, "What is this huge guy from Alabama talking about with Wimbledon?" Well, guess what? We are going into it. We talk all sports.
We got the All NBA teams up.
Oh, let me come back. Reel it out. I was about to leave them out. I forgot all about those guys. Let's go back. Reel me back in. So, All NBA teams. Here are the All NBA teams, first, second, and third. There was a lot of back and forth about who was voted to these teams. One particular player, well, let's make it two. Two particular players were discussed and people were looking, and it would surprise a lot of people that these two players were talked about as why they are on the All NBA team. One being Kyrie Irving, the other being LeBron James. Kyrie was a second. Was he second or third team? Second.
Kyrie didn't make.
Kyrie ain't on it.
He didn't make it.
He didn't make any of it.
Change that. He got
2018.
Jalen Rose voted for him.
Jalen Rose gave him a vote for the All NBA team.
I think that stuff Jalen Rose putting in his head is hurting his brain.
Yeah, Jalen Rose gave Kyrie a third team vote.
Third team vote.
And Stephen A. ripped him a new one about it. And he went back and he backtracked and said he made a mistake on it.
100%.
And I mean, the explanation he gave was that the fact that when Kyrie did play, the effect he had on the game. But
no,
that's not a good enough excuse.
You can't play 29 games.
Hang on,
season.
Excuse me, gentlemen. Excuse me, real quick. I got a little bit of breaking news. The Lakers just hired Darvin Ham as their next head coach. It just happened. They just hired Darvin Ham. Just want to throw that out there.
I don't know how I feel about that.
We were still talking about basketball. Right? Yeah, you can play.
That's your team, right, Jim?
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that one.
I gotta see it. I gotta see it first.
Because he's been a Bucks assistant since what, 2018?
Yeah, definitely. I'm getting
the Lakers
getting votes on here saying that's a trash pickup.
I thought the Lakers needed a big personality coach.
They did, but
they
wasn't
somebody that
Phil
can
Jackson
handle a LeBron. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I guess, like you said, I guess that's one of those we'll have to see.
Yeah. It's definitely. I need to see what it's gonna be before I I don't know if I 100% like it, but I feel like I don't.
I mean, it'll change because for me, like when we first hired Udoka, I was like, who?
Right.
And that dude, yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I knew who
and I thought they should have hired Mark Jackson too.
Yeah, I definitely would have liked the Mark Jackson in that spot.
I don't think Mark Jackson was even an option. He didn't interview.
He was. He was.
No, he was an option.
It was an option.
I don't know if he interviewed or not.
He
but
didn't
was an
interview.
option.
I think the whole problem is they
I
was
know
holding
that
out hope
they
for
wanted
Doc
to
Rivers.
interview him.
That was the whole problem. They was holding out hope for Doc Rivers when Philly already said they wasn't letting Doc Rivers go.
And the Lakers should be thankful that Philly wasn't going to let Doc Rivers go.
That's what I was about to say. Why would you want Doc Rivers over Mark Jackson?
I'm just telling you what they had in their minds. Why they had it in their minds, I don't know, but that's what they did.
That's quite interesting to me.
It is.
Now, are we at the point now where we can pretty much think that Mark Jackson's coaching career is basically over?
I think so.
I feel like it is. I feel like the black ball is still there.
Yeah,
because they didn't like when he said that he didn't know how he would react if one of his children told him that they were gay.
Oh, was that it?
Yeah.
I thought it was because he had to. I could have swore something. I heard something about him holding mandatory prayer sessions.
It could be a combination of the two. But I know it was the whole he didn't know how he would react if one of his children told him they were gay thing, and they were, that was right when the LGBT thing really blew up, and people did not like that one bit. So
okay, so now
all NBA teams.
So let's get back to the All NBA team. Good question.
Yes.
Should Embiid be on the second team, All NBA team?
I thought he should have been on first team. I mean, but who would you have taken out though?
That's what I was about to ask. Who would you replace up there? Because
I mean, but the leading scorer. I mean, he was the leading scorer in the league, man. I mean,
but he wasn't the MVP though. So you gonna take Giannis out?
He was the runner-up.
He was the runner-up.
No. But they could have. But the way that they do the voting now, he could have been put into one of the forward spots. So do you take Giannis out?
Right. That's what I was saying. You take Giannis out or Tatum?
I mean, I guess you could have taken Tatum out and put Embiid in.
I would have.
I don't know. Like, who would you have taken out to put? Who would you have taken out? I guess that's what it boils down to. Who would you take off the first team to add Embiid to? You can't take Joker out because he was the MVP.
He was the MVP. And a lot of people will argue that Embiid should have been the MVP.
I thought he should have been.
Right.
But, I mean, I don't get a vote, obviously.
Amir, if you had a choice and you could possibly take one person off the first team NBA, who would you take off and put Embiid in? Or would you take Embiid and put him on the first team?
Well, I was on the assumption that they vote by position and not all players.
That's what
I haven't done the research when it comes to that.
When it comes to center, you could put the center in as a center or
forward.
Well, apparently you can do the same thing for guard because you got Steph Curry and John Morant on the second team, and they both point guards. And you got two shooting guards.
Guard is guard. They don't go point guard, shooting guard.
Right.
Yeah.
They go two guards, two forwards, a center. But you could put a center in as a forward.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the case, yeah. Jason Tatum wasn't number one. He wasn't a top 5 player.
Right.
You're right. And that was that's the person I would end up taking out. And I like Jason Tatum. I think he's a phenomenal player. But if it came down to it, I would have put Embiid first team and moved Tatum down to second team.
Right. Yeah.
But I honestly think it's by position, though. This is the way I don't know. I'm looking at this list, and I think it is guard, forward, center. I don't think
that's
center has an option to go forward.
No,
I don't think.
I was watching, I think it was First Take, or it might have been NBA Countdown. I can't remember which one. But that was their argument that Joker and Embiid could have both been on the first team because you can put the center at forward.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I
saw that. It was on First Take and Get Up. They were talking about that. And literally, you can have a center put in a forward position.
Right.
And my question was, if you can do that, then why not?
Yeah.
And someone brought up in the chat that Embiid was always hurt. And he was hurt a lot, but the impact that he had in the games when he got on the court.
I was about to say he was hurt, but he was still the leading scorer.
He was the leading scorer of the league. He was everything for the 76ers.
So is that the reason why LeBron is on third team? Because he was the runner up to the leading scorer? He was second leading scorer in the league?
I think it's
LeBron spent a
LeBron.
lot of time injured.
I think it's LeBron.
LeBron spent a lot of time injured.
I think he made third team off of his name. Like, honestly, that's how I felt. Shout out to Shamika. What's up?
Mika, what's up, girl?
So LeBron, third team. If LeBron,
Shout out to Shamika. What's up?
If LeBron made third team, who would you replace him with if you had the choice to replace him? Because who do you not see on the All NBA team that you would want to put in and you would pull LeBron out for?
As far as forwards?
Forwards.
I mean, once you get
There's
down
a lot
to
of
the team, it's
I think I would have put Jaylen Brown in there.
Jaylen Brown's a good one, I think.
You got Jaylen Brown. You got
In the third team.
how was Rudy Gobert's season?
Where he should be at in
Next.
the trash.
Peace out, man.
Keep it moving.
We know Julius Randle took a full step back.
And so did Gobert. No, Randall took about 4 steps back.
Right.
Gobert
How
just
did Brandon Ingram do this year?
Brandon Ingram jumped up. He kind of jumped back, but he jumped up again. He took over late in the season after the All-Star break, but I don't think that should have allowed him to be on the all NBA team from the half of the season. Now, coming into next season, it could be in there where he jumps in there again. So
I don't know, but rumor has it Derrick Rose voted for Zion and Ben Simmons.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Ooh.
Good job.
I
Let's go.
can't confirm that, but yeah, from what I was reading, he voted for Zion Williamson
Draymond.
and Ben Simmons for honorable mentions.
Draymond could have been in there. Wiggins, the way he's been playing later in the season.
Draymond's all defensive. I don't know if that makes him top 15.
Because we talking about
Wiggins had a good season.
Wiggins played a good season. I could see him.
Then when I'm not drinking.
All right, let's move on to our next topic. All right. So now it's time to go into Wimbledon. All right. Let's go ahead and talk about Wimbledon. Fleck, what's going on with Wimbledon that we need to talk about?
So at Wimbledon, it's a non-ranked tournament this year, which means basically they're not awarding points toward your ranking this year. Reason being, Wimbledon decided that Russian and Belarusian players are banned from the tournament. In turn, the ATP, who governs professional tennis, decided, okay, that's your choice, Wimbledon. You can ban those players, but we're not going to count your tournament toward our points ranking system. Because of Russia going into Ukraine or whatever.
Well, it's Wimbledon.
Done. Yeah, with a D.
Just want to throw that out there. It's not Wimbledon. And it's all English tournaments, not just Wimbledon that did that. Yeah, the ATP decided to not award points. That was their decision. But the country of England decided not to allow Russians and Belarus players to participate, and that was their decision.
Belarus,
and to kind of get everybody back on track. Yes, we're talking tennis. This is what happens when you mix politics and sports. It's exactly what happens. You're going to get a lot of broken hearts. You're going to get a lot of hurt feelings. You're going to get a lot of, why the hell is that even an option? Us Americans, love money. So politics and sports usually not ever get crossed over because money always talks. But it's not only Wimbledon that decided to ban Russian and Belarus players, like Flex said. It's all English tournaments throughout the summer as of right now. So with that being said, the ATP thought that since the Russian players can't participate, then we're not going to punish them for losing points, and we're not going to give points to other players, and that costs a lot for players like Roger Federer, Naomi Osaka, which we'll discuss here in a minute. But top-ranked players, that's how they hold their ranking, is by winning these tournaments. It's not always about money, because they get the greater money at the end of the year by these points. So yeah, you might win $1 million winning a tournament, but you might miss out on a $10 million because you're being cost your rank points. And Naomi's already dropping fast. So that's what it is.
Speaking of Naomi Osaka is definitely thinking about possibly skipping Wimbledon. And with that, Martina Navratilova has expressed some real harsh feelings about her and other tennis players possibly skipping Wimbledon. Jim, do you think that it's some overthinking happening by some of the older players, some of the legends of tennis, about those individuals skipping Wimbledon, or more like an overreaction?
It is definitely an overreaction. I mean, I can kind of get where they're coming from. You know, this is the sport that they love, and they just want to see it represented right. But at the same time, y'all are playing this sport for rankings, to be the number one player in the world, because that's where you get your money. So if you're not able to get your rankings up, you're not going to make the same amount of money. Also, with Naomi, let's not forget that May is Mental Health Awareness Month, so she may be taking time off for her mental health at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, who was it? Who's the lady who upset right now?
Martina
Navratilova.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them, but she's the most outspoken right now.
You know, everybody just want a reason to complain about something, and this is just what it is right now. I guarantee you, next week she gonna have something else to complain about, or it's gonna be another topic that's gonna pop up. The only topic that keep popping up and people don't want you to ever forget about is the fact that the Falcons blew a 28-3 lead. But you know, other than that, you know, it's gonna be on to the next in a couple of days. That's just how they are.
Now, can I interject really quick? Real quick. Naomi Osaka, yes, has declared herself dealing with mental, health illness or issues, I should say, and it happened since she won the 2018. So this has been going on. This is her quote, that she's been dealing with mental health issues since she won the 2018 U.S. Open. End quote. Now, I think it's more to it than just a mental health issue when it comes to Naomi. I believe, and this is just my opinion, now that she has become a public figure, now that she's grown larger in the world, in the eyes of the world, she's become more of an activist. She's standing up for mental health issues. Nothing wrong with that. Standing up for the Black Lives Matter movement. Nothing wrong with that. But her game has taken a toll.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess people will say at this point she might be a martyr. Obviously in her field, she has more skills than Colin Kaepernick did when he started his activism. Is that the right word? Right? Yeah, I said it right.
I think you did.
But I believe her game has faltered since then. So she's picking and choosing based upon real life issues. And we're not taking away from what she's standing up for, by no means. But her game she's losing. She's losing on the court and might be winning off. So it depends on what battle she's willing to fight, because she's losing on the court. So that's a big deal when it comes to Naomi Osaka and the ATP or the WTP for the women's.
WTA.
So it's a big deal. It's a big deal. And I know just recently she sat out the 2020, well, not recently, a couple years back. The Blake, I forgot his first name, was a shooting. Jacob Blake, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Shot by the police. I know she sat out the Cincinnati Open for that reason. So she's taking up the mantle for a lot of us, a lot of the world, she's doing what she believes is right. But on the flip side, it's hurting her career.
But I applaud her for using her platform to address those issues. You know what I mean? Especially with me, I myself, I deal with, mental health issues. So to see her use her platform to address those things, whether she's doing them for the right reason or the wrong reason, she's still bringing awareness to those issues. And I applaud her for that.
Yeah,
I agree.
We've had sports figures.
You're right.
Yeah, we've had sports figures that have not used their platform to make sure their voice is heard and speak about injustices. But a lot of the newer, younger sports figures are taking the platform and they're standing up, and regardless of the repercussions, they're standing out on their soapbox and they're making sure they're heard. So I applaud her. I definitely applaud her in bringing to light issues that probably a lot of people would have just swept under the rug if they wouldn't have. But thank you guys. So we're going to move on to our next topic, and we're going to try to get through these last couple. But we're going to talk about the beef in baseball right now between Yankees third baseman Josh Donaldson and Chicago White Sox shortstop Tim Anderson. Amir, what's going on? Talk to me about your Yankees. What's going on here?
I'm going to try to keep this within 5 minutes. I know I spent a lot of time yesterday on the Baseball Pride and Passion baseball talk. That's a cheap plug. But
every Thursday.
Josh Donaldson's pretty much a instigator. Now, obviously, different people say he's racist. He's not racist. He shouldn't have said it. He should have said it. But a quick history lesson, real fast. This beef started in 2019 after Tim Anderson had an interview with Sports Illustrated and called himself Jackie Robinson. If you follow, you can look it up and Google it. He has a whole quote, whole interview. I'm not going to get into that part. This is the short version. Now, with that being said, that same season, Josh Donaldson ran past him, called him, "What's up, Jackie?" End quote. Ran off the field. Tim Anderson was just, nothing happened at that moment. He was, what just happened kind of moment, So when he was interviewed by it, it came out. He said, "I'm not cool with Josh Donaldson," and I told her, "Don't talk to me." That should have been it. Or at least they thought that was it. Backtrack a couple weeks ago, Josh Donaldson, Tim Anderson slides in third base. Josh Donaldson, kind of a hard tag, not really. It was a play, it wasn't dirty at all. And they get in each other's face, they pressed apart. Nothing happened. This wasn't even, it was a non-issue. Nothing happened. Fast forward to last weekend. Donaldson does the same thing he did in 2019. It says, "What's going on, Jackie?" At that moment, he crossed the line. Now, that's what happened. Those are facts. This is my opinion. Somebody comes to me and I say something, they tell me, "Hey, knock it off." That means knock it off. It might not be offensive then, but he's like, "Hey, you're pushing it." Cool. Josh Donaldson got a history of pushing it. And that's what it comes down to. I don't believe it was racist. He did issue an apology, but within that apology, it was a small line that was like, "I said what I said, oh well." That's just me paraphrasing. Again, you can look it up online. The apology is there. But Josh Donaldson always been an antagonizer. He's always been kind of a bully. He's always been outspoken. He's always wanting to get his words out there. And that's pretty much what happened. But when somebody tells you, "Hey, enough is enough," enough is enough. And Josh Donaldson just kept pushing buttons.
So that's the wrap up on that. So
let me tell you something. Hold on, Big Robert. Hold on.
Go ahead, Jim.
Let me tell you something. You got one time to act like you was joking about something, act like you made a mistake. You come the second time and you don't get paws put on you, you got real lucky. You came back a second time with the same thing. I understand it was in the game,
right?
But you came and you deliberate with this right now because you knew after the first time, and I told you something after the first time. You knew when you came back the second time that this is something that's not welcome and you shouldn't be doing. So now you're coming back the second time, but you only get a 1-game suspension. That right there, you knew what you was doing. But I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna leave it alone.
No, and I agree, Jim. That's what it was with me. Like, okay, you said it one time, I laughed it off, or hey man, we ain't cool like that. Stop it. You come back the second time, and then you also have to add in all the other little side antics they had too, like the Tim Anderson with the hard slide back into third, Josh Donaldson sitting on Tim Anderson's arm when he slid back into third. I mean, you have to add all of that in it too to get a bigger picture of, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You may have thought you were joking, but we don't joke like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, hey, appreciate you gentlemen having that discussion, talking about peeling back the layers of it. So in the end, we're going to watch this one because I think there's some more that's going to come down the line on this one and see how it plays out. All right, let's go ahead and get to the wrap up. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Amir, talk to me. What's a tidbit you want to share with the people out there?
I think I thought a little bit out the box as we are all sports matter, right? Want to stick to that. I'm gonna go with 23-year-old Kylian Mbappe, French player, plays out of France, PSG, Paris Saint-Germain. He went and 23-year-old soccer player. If I didn't add that in there. Now, he went and Real Madrid, rolled out the red carpet. He went and looked for houses. He went out and got drunk, hung out with beautiful Spanish women, did the whole works. They had a whole villa to him. He's like, yes, I'm coming, until I'm not. That dude told him, yes, I'm going to sign. I am going to sign. Now, he's one of the better players. Not the best, but one of the better players in the world right now, 23. Now, he went to Spain and made sure they spent all their money up until he went back to France. The French president rode up to his crib. He was like, bro, you can't go. And he's like, you're right. And they gave him the contract. They rolled out all the money, and he's staying at PSG. And right now, Spain is irate. Why? Because they got their Premier League championships this weekend at the same time. So that was like, we about to get Mbappe. We about to win the title. We about to do all 9. No Mbappe, maybe no title. They lost a crap ton of money trying to spoil this kid. He's like, I'm staying in France. And that's what I got.
Shout him the deuce.
Shout out to David Harding. Go Celtics.
Hey, appreciate you a bit. Good say. Hey, good share. So I'm going to share my little tidbit this week. Today, there was a weigh-in this morning, and I don't know if everyone saw it today or not, but there was a weigh-in that happened between Gervonta Davis and Rolando Romero. And I'm going to let the video show the melee that happened during the weigh-in.
Neither of them ever been knocked down in a fight. It's Gervonta Tank Davis versus Rolando Rolly Romero.
He was too close.
I must say that one, he let him know you're a little too close to me. Back off. And 2, in my entire 50 years of life, I've never seen a fighter get pushed off the stage during a weigh-in. All he did was give him a nudge, and he went sailing.
He was very embarrassed. He wanted to fight for real after that embarrassment.
Exactly. So he wanted to go ahead and get his manhood back. So that's one of my shares and my tidbits for this week. Hey, Fleck, what do you got? I know you got something special to share with us.
Yes, sir. So for me, my tidbit, it's not sports related, but it's a proud dad moment. My oldest is graduating high school in the morning. and I just wanted to give him a little FaceTime.
Let's go, nephew.
Let him know.
Nephew.
Let him know how proud I am.
Trigger.
Nephew.
You know,
That's all to you.
this kid, great kid, hates school. So for me to see him graduating, oh man, I mean, you can see the smile on my face.
Bingo.
Like, we made it. We made it. So that's my tidbit for the week, man. Trey.
Thank you.
Hey, salute to your nephew. Congratulations. Blessings.
Do your thing, Neff. Do your thing.
I'm gonna come through and buy you a beer. I got you, nephew.
Hey, he'll drink it too.
You're doing it just like that.
He's the uncle that you don't listen to. We've had this discussion many times. He's
I
the uncle
got
you
you.
don't
Trust
listen
me,
to,
I
okay?
got you.
Nephew,
Look,
don't do it.
I'm the one that you do listen to. So after you don't listen to him, I'm gonna just take it out of his hand and give it to you. It's all good. We got this. Don't worry about it.
Bingo.
Hey, look, he made it to the end. He can have one. He made it to the end. He can have one.
First of all, let me put out there that All Sports Matter podcast does not condone underage drinking at any
At all.
time.
I was
really
just going to
don't.
say it. Thank you, Lord. Thank
You
you,
really
Jesus.
don't. Drink responsibly.
Drink responsibly. I'm not trying to go to jail.
But yeah, I just wanted to get him in here, man. My little basketball star. I just wanted to get him in here for my tidbit, man. I'm proud of you, kid.
Hey, blessings, nephew.
yeah.
Blessings. Look, we just need you to put on Alabama stuff as soon as you get a chance.
Oh Lord, please don't do it.
Hey, he already know where it's at. He already know where it's at.
That's even
We'll have a
worse.
We'll talk, nephew. We'll talk later.
You know,
We'll talk later.
Never mind.
We'll have a conversation later. I love you. Hey, Jim, we'll get you to close us out. You had something special to share with us.
So I was going to say something about Grant Cohn and his foolishness about how he liked to talk crap about the team that he's covering. I'm not going to go there. After the graduation and all that stuff, I'm going to just say this. Colin Kaepernick had a tryout or had a workout with the Raiders. We don't know where that's going. But we're going to close out the show with a nice little clip of an up-and-comer. I think he in the 6th grade now. He gonna be playing on Sundays one of these days. Y'all go see him in the near future. I promise you that. This little boy, they call him Kid Flash. And y'all about to see why. This is my guy. So for all my guys here at All Sports Matter, we thank y'all for joining us, and we'll see y'all next week.